da 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 da. Quickly change all things. Streaming some logo recreations. Change all things. Streaming. Shut up! Creative. Boom. Okay, now to invite the Discord over. It's live. Twitch.tv/WhaddupLoser. Gotcha. Do it. Put this a bit low. I think everything is set now. Hey there, Rosenby. Welcome to the stream. This is gonna be quite the laid back stream, in all honesty. I'll definitely keep like an eye on the chat and whatsoever, but I will most likely focus on this logo. So what I'm currently doing is since as of recent I've noticed that 4K is becoming more and more popular over time, and the problems that come with 4K is that at the moment the resolution is so big that we're basically not prepared for it when you want to make like videos or any other media outlet out there. So I basically volunteered myself to recreate some of these like very old logos out there, and this is one of them. I'm currently busy with Bugs Bunny Lost in Time. So I have Bugs Bunny over here, and now I'm recreating Lost in Time. So what you're gonna see is a lot of tracing. You're gonna see a lot of creative ways how to recreate something, and it's gonna be. I mean, some people like watching me working in Illustrator, but usually, I think it's a bit boring. But whatever. As long as you are having fun, I'm having fun as well. But yeah, that's what I'm basically busy with right now. What's up? What's up? What's up? That's what Mike says. Also, can you guys hear like the ventilation over here? Just making sure. I try to filter it out, and I think you can hear it at the moment. Desktop audio is also on. Let me put that a bit lower, actually. There we go. Hey there, Legendary. Welcome to the stream. You're probably just gonna see me recreate a lot of stuff. I'm currently using a green line rather than a different color line. Because if I'm gonna use something like white or black or red, even though that's like the exact color, for me it's easier to look at the shape and judge if it's the kind of shape I was expecting the letter to be like. Like for instance, I think this edge over here is a bit too tough. We'll just do this. And this. I'll show you. Let's see, where is it? Yeah, over here. So this is all the logos I've made so far. Okay, I'll show you like a few of them. At the moment, over here I have Ape Escape, completely made in Illustrator. I have what was that game again? Is that Japanese game? Or was it? I got Legacy of Kain for you out there, Joe. Had to make sure that was there was a version of that one as well. Yeah, Europe is currently having it quite tough. Like out of the blue, it was like boom, 30 degrees outside. I've recreated the Final Fantasy VII logo over here, even the international one. And it may seem easy, just like, oh, you know, just you copy and paste it, but no. Apparently, there's no decent font that resembles the Final Fantasy VII logo. And from what I've noticed is that, excuse me, I'm having a bit of hay fever. And what I've also noticed is that there was no good vector version of this logo as well. Like, it was absolutely rubbish. And people called it the vector. That's what we had to work with. So I thought we need to have a more open source logos that makes it easier for everyone to just grab these and upscale them as big as they want them to be, and then they can just use them for whatever they fancy. So that's basically what I'm busy with. Yeah, I made Alundra. Let's see. Or did I? Or did I quit halfway through? Yeah, there we go. Here's Alundra. Yeah, I'm currently trying to avoid the logos with textures and Photoshop elements because those are more complicated. That basically just boils down to you have to make it in, you have to actually make it in Photoshop itself, and then it defeats the purpose. Basically, the benefit of a vector logo is that you can size it in any size you want, and you can still keep the accurate resolution you want the design to be like. So that's why they're all basically made in Illustrator right now. For instance, I have Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2 over here. It's not very visible at the moment, but there's a 2 underneath there. I'll show you guys. There we go. Boom. It's all vector. Look. It's all just shapes. So now you can just resize this in any size you want to. Nerd. Hey Jesse, welcome to the stream. And I made this one recently, which I'm really proud of. Mega Man X4. That was a bit complicated. What I did notice is that Sony loves his gradients. Like, all the PS1 games have a shit ton of gradients over them. Oh, Illustrator is a lot of fun, yeah. I've been working with it for over the past 6 years or something. So I'm quite comfortable with it at the at this point. Homer, don't make fun of that nerd. Oh, Homer. I need to get into Illustrator again. My Illustrator game is... Why is it bad, Joe? Well, I mean, I do know a bit of photography, but I've never held, like, a proper DSLR. In all honesty. What a merge! Joe's gonna be my, my Bart Simpson. Every time I walk into a stream, I'm gonna be like, why you little? For the people that are curious, at the moment, there's Metal Gear Solid in the background. And even though I really like what Twin Snakes did, I don't think the music has the same charm as the PS1 version. It feels like you're constantly on a mission with the PS1 version, whereas with the PS2 version, it's more cinematic and action-oriented. Which, in my opinion, does fit the philosophy of Kojima more. But the more you start to play Kojima games and notice what kind of man he is, because, like, literally, he loves movies. It's even like in his Twitter bio, he claims to be 70% made out of movies. That he just, you know, he watches a movie and he's like, I like this. I want the exact same thing in my game. Not like a twist or something else, no, the exact same thing. So when Metal Gear Solid was released, you saw that Metal Gear Solid was, had like, it was very like espionage aimed. It was almost like a Mission Impossible movie. But then if you look at Twin Snakes, you notice that within Twin Snakes that the game was very influenced by The Matrix with the bullet time and whatsoever, which was not apparent in the games ever since. So when you start to notice those trends with Kojima, it does ruin the magic a bit. Still great games though, don't get me wrong. Need more System Shock music. Does System Shock have a good vector logo? Well, then again, I don't think it's released on the PlayStation 1. Probably not hear my own music, to be honest. I thought I was some kind of dubstep remix you're listening to with the fan or whatnot. Is the fan very loud? Shouldn't be picking it up, though. Well, I mean, it would be great to have PC games on the PS1, but the problem is I just don't. I think, like, you can say whatever you want about, you know, console gaming being inferior about PC gaming, but if you look at it back then, it did make quite the difference if you bought the PC game or the PC version. I think it's nowadays is more cherry picking if you want to have a game like The Witcher on PC or on a console. Let's see. It's like a bit of a slanted circle. I think if I make it like this. The reason why I started doing these is not only because of the reason I just said, but also because it's very relaxing. I had a very stressful time over the past months due to my sleep problems and whatsoever. So I decided to do something to distract myself a bit, and something that is also a bit productive at the same time. So that's why I decided to just retrace some memories of mine. Hey, Strange Guru, welcome to the stream. If you guys want, I can just open the Discord and can invite you guys over, so we can just have a small party at the moment. Or you can just listen to me. Hey Nico, where's... Yeah, I do have that one, yeah. Don't worry, James. I think he's referring to an old joke we had going on. I sent you the System Shock logos. Is it on Facebook? Silly you. Let's see. Oh, there we go. Oh, goodness. I don't know if I can make the blur effect. There's definitely a glow effect around it. I don't know, man. I don't know. You see, making it in Photoshop piss easy. I can do that right away. But the thing is that then the image itself becomes like solid. So I can't really like enlarge it or whatever without it becoming blurry over time. So that's the problem that comes with it. But it doesn't need to glow. Damn, Nico, back at again with them sudden streams. Hey there, Revenger. Welcome to the stream. I don't know. I was just like, you know, I have a spare hour. I might as well. What have I done with this shape? Oh, there we go. So for the people that don't know what Illustrator is, like I said, it's a program that makes it possible for everything to be as large or as small as possible with keeping the same resolution. But it's basically drawing lines and coordinates. And due to these coordinates, you can change the sizes easier. It doesn't remember like a square and it says, okay, this square is a dark red and this square has this code and this property and whatsoever. It only remembers the coordinates of every shape, and because of that you can just enlarge it and decrease the size if you want to. And that's what you call a vector image. So even though I could recreate the logos in Photoshop, it would defeat the purpose, because then I have to recreate them in 5 years on again. So that's why I was like, nah, that's not a good idea. I might as well just recreate the logos in Illustrator. Okay, let's pick up the pace a bit, because it's taking a bit too long. If you guys have any PS1 logos that you think, oh, this is cool, just post them in the chat or post them in the Discord if Nightbot decides to be a dick again. Oh, you're referring to like that motion blur effect on the text. Yeah, exactly. There is a way that you can do that in Illustrator, but the thing is that it mimics the effect. So as soon as you scale it up, it mimics the effect again. And I don't know if that's entirely reasonable to make the logo out of. Yeah, see, that's what I said, Joe. I can make the logo in Photoshop, but it would defeat the purpose. Because then it's not a vector image. It would be something like 4,000 by 4,000 pixels, and that's great and all. But in 5 years, that's going to be too small. Because then we're going to have 8K or maybe 16K screens. So the resolution will be gone over time. In all honesty, I do oh, hold up. I already made that one. In all honesty, I do think we really have a problem coming up sooner or later. Where, although the source images that we have are already way too small. Like, how many times have you Googled... If you Googled an image and that you've noticed that the image was like 500 by 500 pixels and it was just way too small that you wanted to use it for. Like seriously, every time when I Google an image, I always search in on like type, size, and then it's probably in English something like big. And because of that, we've basically lost the value of a lot of imagery due to it. Send you the clock tower logo from the PS1 version. Let me take a quick look at it. Ooh, go away. Where is it? There we go. I'll look it up over here, see if we can find a bit more crisp image. Clock tower, PS1. I just found the clock tower for in London. Oh, look at this. Look at it's the other image. How is that pause? That's ridiculous. That's drama. It says nothing about the whole game. That's what I love the most about it. This is a perfect reaction picture. I'm gonna save this one. I'm gonna need this one later. No, I think the logo is a bit too Photoshoppy for to recreate easily. Like I said, I can probably recreate them in Illustrator at some point, but it will demand a lot. Like I believe it was, yeah, The Adventure of Little Ralph, for instance. This is an interesting one. This is a Japanese game made by New Corporations. Yeah, there we go. And I encountered a problem with it, and that is that the sword over here in the original was made in 3D, but it was made like in a 3D that was only based out of solids and gradients. So I just basically recreated the sword as if it's made in 3D. Like, and I made the shadows are basically also shapes made in the window. So yeah, you have that going on as well. Same. Yeah, so it is quite challenging to sometimes find like the best solution to these problems. But when it adds a lot of effects to it, that's when it becomes complicated to recreate. But if it's something like a solid shape or gradient, like this Bugs Bunny logo, I can easily just recreate it. And I'm going like through the list of PS1 games that I would consider interesting or have like a reputation to it. Because now we also need to align them later, because I want these logos to be as historically correct as possible. Because obviously people are going to use these logos for reference later, potentially. So I don't want to risk that the logos are not going to look exactly like how people remember them. Or well, as how they're supposed to look like. Nostalgia can be quite distorted. Also, the Men of Honor logo would be nice. You mean the Underground one? Medal of Honor Underground. It's a long time ago when I played that game. This is my favorite track from Metal Gear Solid, by the way. Bim bim. Every time when I hear this track, I always like love to beatbox underneath it, and every time you hear that dun dun, that's when I was silent. There's just basically a lot of space for some drumming in between. Yeah, it's already crooked. It's a bit annoying because if you look closely, this is a bit of printing knowledge. When you have a printed image, it's basically built up in 4 colors. As you can see over here, it's built CMYK. So this is cyan. I'll give them a black edge. I'm gonna lecture you in some printing stuff right now. You better make some quick notes if you actually want to learn something today. This is magenta. This is yellow. And this is black. You may already have noticed what these colors are based on. Yeah. If you've printed something in the past, you probably have seen these colors before. And this is basically what they call processed colors. And processed colors are a method of ensuring that you can create every kind of color possible out of a printer. And when you have an image like this, I believe, yeah, as you can see like there's a purple edge to it and a yellow edge. That is because that if you build up a color like red, it's usually built up out of 100% magenta and 100% yellow. Oops, hold up. Put in a CMYK. There we go. As you can see, if you look at the values over here, you'll see that they're built out of 100% magenta and 100% yellow. So what a printer then does, it basically overlaps these 2 colors, and then it creates that effect. But the problem that sometimes a printer has is that obviously you can't really properly layer those colors perfectly sometimes. And what the problem is right now is that you have the E in the red, and you have a small layer of yellow over here, and you have a small layer of magenta over here due to it. And now it's pretty distorted. That's why sometimes when you look at a package and it looks very blurred, and you see like an orange edge to it or something, that's basically because one of the printing sides went wrong. It's a bit off, basically. So that's why I'm currently struggling a bit with ensuring that the shapes are as correctly as possible. And now you know. I have a book of this stuff. Yeah, me too. I've got it right over there, actually. And I got a diploma of it. I did graphic design at first. Now I'm following more of a the communication side of graphic design. It basically goes a bit more in depth of what I'm already doing. I think this is it. And since I think the color is based on just like what we call a reflex red, which is basically a standard kind of red, I think we can safely say that this red is just 100% magenta and 100% yellow. There we go. So now it's accurate. Oh, excuse me. I forgot to take the dots with us. I do love the end shape. Nico, check your Discord. This logo. I mean, I can make it to a degree, but there's a lot of textures over it. Like I said, you don't have that much creative freedom with Illustrator. That's the biggest con of it. So you have to like improvise sometimes to ensure that you get like the exact same thing that you wanted. Yeah, that seems right. And now we make this black. It's always one of the controversial subjects with printing. It's like, is black a color? One of my old colleagues had a perfect example. He said, well, you don't go to like a car salesman and you say, oh, I want the Ford. And then it's like, okay, which Ford do you want? You say, oh, I want the one with no color. I want the no color one. I was like, yeah, he's got a good point there. No one says that. And I mean, sure, it might be, like, scientifically correct if you would say that it is not technically a color, but who cares, really? Really? No one goes to, like, a shop and says, oh, I want the shirt with the no color in it. I love that one. I love the Pigman's ones. Damn, Revenger, need to get on, Dad. Dad and Nico disappointed the king. Nah, he didn't disappoint me. Maybe he's just in a different mind frame. Maybe he sees things that I can't. Let's set up some different music. Right, we could, if you guys liked it, we could also draw some old 90s developers logos. For instance, Whoopee Camp would be an interesting one. Yeah, let's do Whoopee Camp. I need a good logo of Whoopee Camp. Here we go. This is good enough. Oh, hold up. I'll just make a new file. There we go. I'm gonna put some Tombi 2 music up. I love that game. Why is it so expensive, though? Where's the chat? Where's the chat? Nico, the music, please! Please notice me! Airborne was a nice game. Pretty underrated, I'd say. Airborne, let me look it up. Maybe I remember it. Oh, Spec Ops! See, I haven't played the original Spec Ops, from back in the past. I did play, a bit of Medal of Honor, though. I think we might cheat this one a bit. So what I'm gonna do now is, rather than draw over the shape, I'm basically gonna make a line in the center of it all, and then I'm gonna make it like thicken it up a bit later, and then expand that line, and then make a black line around it, and then maybe like a drop shadow afterwards. I think that's the quickest way to produce this logo. Has any of you played Tombi 2 or Tombi 1? Also great game. Or Tomba for Jesse out there, because Tomba is apparently the American name for it. But anyways, Nico, we can't hear the music. Can you hear it now? Can you hear it now? Okay, I'll put it down a bit. We did it, Reddit! That has to be one of my favorite memes. Turn it up! Quick down! Even more? What about this? Is it better now? Please don't tell me you're fucking with me, Joe. Also, Joe. Oh, this is actually pretty fucking loud on my end. Hold up, I got this. I'll just amp it up for you guys. Oh Christ, that's the problem. Yeah. This should be better now. I hope it isn't too loud now. Yeah, Joe. I'd say treat yourself and give yourself a plug. Show them the magic of King Kiwi. This guy is doing some pretty cool stuff at the moment. I believe he is busy with preparing for the last door again at some point. He's kind of doing a let's play of it, like a stream with high attention to the Twitch chat, and he basically does voice acting with it as well. It's really nice, and he's a part of the Coswitch cast, so it's always a good reason to add him to the bunch. And he's probably gonna do some photo streams and such in the future as well, because he's really good at photography. Look me face. Oh, it's a bit tilted. Hold on, let me make it black actually, because I can't see what's going on. I'll make it no color. That's what I'm absolutely certain that I'm saying it the correct way. That is correct. I'm currently finishing up some uni work, but I'm not sure what other games I'm gonna stream. The Last Door is a great game, very spooks. Yeah, that seems about right. I believe it's a bit to the left, actually. This one over here. This one's too big. This one needs to be a bit smaller. Shape-wise, that is. Not the thickness. Yeah, there we go, that's better. What a funky logo this is. Apparently, the game Tomba 1 and 2 has been published by a company that basically made 4 other companies bankrupt at the same time. So I think one of the reasons that Tomba and Tomba 2 failed in the past was due to its, you know, its bad publicity, basically. Which is very sad, because when you play these games, you notice how much heart went into creating all the small details. Because I do believe that Tomba and Tomba 2 is a one-of-a-kind game. There's nothing like it out there. I don't necessarily think they're amazing. I still think they're a lot of fun. But if you're really into like Metroidvania and you love adventure games while still staying in platform territory, this is your game. This is definitely your game. Just get it on PS3 because it's not worth getting it physically. Only if you find it for dirt cheap. I had the luck to find one copy for 50 bucks. It sounds like a lot, but actually it's worth 100. And if you want to get Tomba 1, that thing has been amped in price as of recent, and that thing is just almost unaffordable nowadays. Hey Stu, welcome to the stream. Had some good feedback on some final shots yesterday. You should post them on the Discord. Post them in the check this out stuff or your art expo. Get some exposure. I know artists love their exposure. I do. Keeps my kids healthy. What's up? Ah, everyone is welcoming Stu. Welcome to the stream, Stu. Hope you're having a great day over there in England? I think it was England. Could be wrong. Stu is a diehard. He's a day oneer. Approximately how much exposure does a human being required to pass their daily intake? You mean the sun? Or do you mean art? Because good one, Joe! Really? What a good one. This man has just became 18 years old and he still hasn't lost his sense of humor. This is, by the way, my favorite track from Tommy 2. It's the one where you uncurse the third village, I believe. Ha ha! 18 is just a number. Yeah, you tell that to yourself, Joe. Oh, I love this track. The chance of you hearing this track more often on What If streams and whatever is quite big. Yeah, let's just trace it. I don't think we've nailed the feel quite yet, from the looks of it. I think it just needs to be thicker, actually. No, I think 8. 8 should be good, yeah. Oh yeah, this already seems much better. Whoopee Camp. What a name. Kinda looks like the Pinterest P. Joe's favorite website because he's a big gay. 7 exposures when you have to deal with a shit son. Burn, Joe. My favorite series, Whoopee Camp. Okay, let's expand them. There we go. And now we can add another stroke to it. Oh, fuck. There we go. Okay, need to fix a few things. That's better. I wouldn't make it that thick in all honesty. Yeah, that seems more reasonable. What do you guys think? Does it look good? Some letters are not quite well tucked in it. This seems a bit thicker. Ooh, something went wrong over there. You see what I mean? When you look at like how crisp it is, like it's still the exact same crispness, even though if you zoom in and zoom out. That's the desired effect you want to have with these things. Yeah, that's what we did. That's the problem. Too many anchors. That's better. And now we just make this one gray. Come on. That's a bit too dark, though. Let's make it a bit lighter. This should be it. Done. It's easy as that. I don't know. I think the line needs to be a bit thicker. Okay, I need to hop off into the T-Mom things. See you later, Jesse. Thanks for stopping by. I wasn't expecting 11 people to channel in with this, in all honesty. It's gonna be like, oh, you know, maybe for some people that really like to watch this stuff or whatever. Maybe have a catch up with the Discord. No, everyone wants to see this instead. Fine by me. It's easier than doing a Spyro stream. I'll make comp. As in company. Whoopee cam. Done. Done. Perfect. Now what? We need another logo to recreate. Maybe the old Ubisoft logo? Oh, that one's gonna be easy. Probably gonna regret saying that though. This one. Oh, hold up. Hold up. Apparently, this side claims to have a... This side claims to have a vector logo of it. Let's see how good it is. Okay, just downloaded it. See how good it is. Ubi. Ubisoft. Where is it? It seems to be here right now. Ah, there it is. Here we go. Hold up. There's already something going on. Wait, they've expanded all of them? Every single call? Why would you do that? What have they done? Where are the layers? Let me put up some music first. Hold up, this is ridiculous. I'll put up Rayman 1 because it's Ubisoft. Ubi baby, what happened? Sorry if my my windows seem to be quite a mess. I have a tendency to just, like, you know, make quite a mess of it, even though it's not really not that visible. Let's see. What happened to you? Where are the layers on this thing? Oh, there we go. There are no layers, it's just one. Okay, we'll just ungroup the bunch. Because I'm just curious what went wrong with this one. Because I can't get what the idea behind this was. I get the feeling this guy just said, you know what, here's the image, just render something out. But man, I mean, I didn't really make it. No, I'm not gonna do it. It's too much made by someone else, if you know what I mean. Nah, I'm not gonna do Ubisoft. Apparently, there's a good Ubisoft logo out there already. Bit convoluted, though. I'll give it that. Check the Discord from what I've linked to you, says Revenger. Let's see. V-Rally. V-Rally 2. Got a copy of V-Rally at the moment. It does have a baffle effect that you have with Photoshop. You can already see that some of the logos are like based on Photoshop tricks. We could be lazy and do Resident Evil, I suppose. What's the Wild Arms logo like? Alright, that one. We can make that one. Yeah, let's make the Wild Arms logo. Or does someone else have a good suggestion? Let's see. I will always be there in your heart. Do the System Shock 1 logo so I can continue my obsession with the soundtrack. System Shock 1. That is very easy. Which one is it? You mean this one, Joe? Like this one? Let me grab Wild Arms in the meantime. How does the microphone sound, by the way? Because I get the feeling I talk a bit too much away from the mic. There's a tendency to filter my voice out in weird ways then. Okay, you know what? Fuck you. I'm gonna put you on your separate layer. And now you're stuck forever. So this is what I mean. This is a 500 by 500 pixel image. How is this supposed to survive in 4K? We're not prepared for this, guys. We're gonna have serious problems. I just want a crisp version of the Wild Arms PS1 cover. So I can at least see what I'm doing. Yes, thank you. This is something I can work with. Finally. No, not that one. Check Facebook, my fam. Oh, that one. Pfft. Sure. Give me a sec. That's gonna be easy. In the middle, in the middle. Da, da, da. No! What are you doing? What even? Oh yeah, it's the swamp. Hold up, I'll skip one. You know what, Joe? You know what? I'll put up some System Shock music up for you. Just for you. Just for you. Here we go. Here you go. You're more than welcome, Joe. That's a bit techno-ish. This is not how I remember System Shock. What a coincidence! They used the same theme as in Thief 4. What a funny coincidence. I'm the worst, okay. System Shock OST. Isn't this like one of those things where you just hear crickets in the back? You know, with those ambient soundtracks. Wait! Is this System Shock? We at System Shock Incorporated sell you the most delicate tea bags that you can imagine. Oh, hold up. There you go. Also be sure to check out our other bags over at System Shock 2 Incorporated. We hope you're having a pleasant visit. Are you tired of those backaches you're constantly having troubles with? Well, have no fear. Like, what is this? The elevator music? This track is just taking the piss out of me. I mean, it sounds fine. I'll give it that. It's not bad. It's more like as if you have Loco Roco music in a Doom game. It's kind of like what it felt to me for a sec. Oh, great. Great soundtrack. Those meaties. Oh. Nostalgia is an amazing thing, isn't it? Bear in mind, this is 1994. Joe, you wanna know what also 1994 was? You wanna know what also 1994 was? This was also 1994. How does your soundtrack sound like this? I mean, just saying, Joe. It's not bad, don't get me wrong. I kinda like it, to be honest. I'm just trying to say, like, this is not, like, highly advanced or something like that. Alright, What's up, Joe? You're gonna tell the stream how wrong I am. Did I unleash the beast? Guru, honest. Guru, is he bothering you right now? About how horrible my opinion is? Calling. Oh man. So we break the flow. He's actually calling me. Hold up. Let me be a man and recall him. What is up? What is up, my friend, my fellow brethren?
Hello, Nico. Okay, so I'm gonna explain a couple things.
Sure. Enlighten me. I'm honestly quite interested.
Okay, so System Shock's really weird because it was both released on CD and floppy drive, right?
Yeah.
So, that was already quite weird when it came to music files.
Was it like in an uncanny valley or something, where CDs were like on the...
Not quite.
Okay.
It was, I mean, to explain it, on PC, there would be a shitload of, you'd have to have your own sound generator, like a sound chip, and the like. For example, Mike says in the chat that he's, there was the Roland MT32, which is a really good example of stuff. And basically, soundtracks would vary in sound and tone depending on what sound chip you have. A good example of that.
Yeah, Monkey Island is a good example.
Yeah, Monkey Island. Another good example is comparing the soundtracks of ports on the SNES and the
Genesis
Mega Drive.
Or Mega Drive.
Yeah, like if you can compare games which have the same score but different instrumentation, then they sound really weird. A good example of that. I was just going to say, have you seen the two tracks that I linked you? One of the tracks is called Energy Systems. That's from the original System Shock. That's a good example of a good track.
Yeah, let me put it up for reference. Give me a sec. Is it the first one or the second one?
The first one. The second one is from System Shock 2.
Okay, here we go. Should be up now. There you go. What's the thing you wanted to elaborate on about this track?
Oh, this track? I just really like this track. It's very Nine Inch Nails inspired.
I love Nine Inch Nails.
I really dig it. Really dig it. Yeah, System Shock is just kind of... It's just kind of weird, man. Like, it's got a good soundtrack, but a lot of it is kind of like... It was limited by a lot of the MIDI related stuff. They could have quite easily have done a fully recorded.
To be fair, I was cheating a bit, because the thing with cartridges back then is that they had
their own sound chips.
Exactly, they had sound chips. That's why, for instance, a game like Super Mario World and Final Fantasy VI sound completely different from each other. Yeah, because what they would do, if some developers wanted more freedom over what sounds were being generated, they would just stick their own sound chip in there, because it would be dependent on. It would then be dependent on the composer, and it gives them a whole lot of freedom, which is why the soundtrack for, say, Super Metroid is amazing. And that's also another good point, because the Mega Drive, I don't think the Mega Drive actually had that. I don't think you had that capability. So that's why a lot of Mega Drive soundtracks, when you had games ported from the SNES to the Mega Drive, the soundtracks would be either very different or a lot worse. They'd be missing a lot of that. They'd be missing some aspects. You see that for the young ones out there, it's almost the equivalent. Yeah, it's kind of like the equivalent. Yeah, not those young ones. No, for the people out there that didn't grow up with these kind of things, it's almost the equivalent of buying Doom 2016 and Nvidia saying, "Oh, here you go. Here's a sound chip with it, so you can put that in your PC, and now you have better sound with it." That's what it was like when you bought cartridges for the SNES back then. It's kind of ridiculous when you think about it.
That's what the original Star Fox on the SNES had, that with the, I can't remember the name of the chip, but
Super FX.
Super FX chip, yeah. The cartridge itself had an extension of the Super FX chip, I believe, in the Star Fox cartridge, which is why it was able to, get good like that. get them 3D polygonal graphics going on.
I've heard it was a nightmare to work with Miyamoto on that game.
Yeah, it doesn't surprise me. I mean, when you've got like, okay, this is gonna be like, we're going into game dev talk here. Okay.
Just so you know, the music stopped right as when you said, "Just so you know." It's like as if it was edited in.
All right, perfect time to bring in.
Yeah.
Engineering the next track.
Engineering.
Yeah,
Okay.
you're completely wrong, by the way. Most of the System Shock tracks are like really heavily techno, and I love it. It's very cheesy, especially considering, you know, it's a horror game. But
loves his synths and whatever.
System Shock 2 is fully synthesized. It's a fully recorded soundtrack as opposed to System Shock 1. Actually, interesting fact about the System Shock 2 soundtrack.
Yeah.
It had 3 people working on the soundtrack. You had Josh Randall, who did the more techno upbeat music, like the one you're listening to now, probably.
Yes.
You had Eric Brosius, who was the madman and just all around beautiful guy, responsible for kind of fixing up the music and also editing it up so it would work with the like proprietary sound engine. He's also the man.
Whoa, listen to that almond break, bro.
And that's fucking sick. And then most surprisingly, like I found this out today, the man who did all the like ambient atmospheric horror tracks is I'm gonna completely butcher this pronunciation. Is Ramin Djawadi?
No clue.
He later went on to compose Game of Thrones, Pacific Rim. What else did he do? Let's have a look. Warcraft, The Great Wall, Iron Man. What else? Clash of Titan. Okay, I'm gonna try and say good films so as to not ruin his like. He's done a lot of bad films as well.
Oh, here you go, Joe. Here's your System Shock logo in vector.
Yay.
What? Oh, do you want to do anything with it?
I just kind of want it.
You just want it. Sure thing. I'll send it over so you can have
Sick.
it. And with that, I'll probably end the stream. Let's conclude the story, and then I'll call it quits for then.
Okay. Yeah. So System Shock 2 had some really cool people working on its soundtrack. System Shock 1 was done by Greg Piccolo, who he did some great stuff. He now works at Harmonix, Rock Band developers.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Basically, some good people doing the music. Yeah, System Shock 1's soundtrack is very strange, but I really like it.
Every soundtrack in the 90s was a bit different. Was a bit of an oddball.
Yeah.
Except
Yeah,
if you were with Square. Square always had amazing music in the 90s.
Well, that's mostly because the composers there kind of approached it were kind of classically trained, as opposed to, say, Greg Piccolo, who is he was a member of a band called Tribe.
Okay.
Yeah, which is really kind of 80s, 90s retro-y kind of band. Pretty sure it's progressive, prog rock kind of music. Whereas the composers, most of the composers that were at Square at the time, and probably quite a lot of the Japanese composers, they were usually classically trained. I can't remember the composer for the Final Fantasy games, but he's definitely classically trained. You can tell.
Yeah, definitely. You can definitely notice he's classically trained.
Yeah.
Anyways, Joe, I'm gonna call it an end for today. Thank you so much for coming along and explaining your System Shock analysis.
System Shock music next time because it's really good.
Well, maybe you can implement it into your streams coming up soon-ish.
Well, I would plug what I'm thinking of doing, but you know what? I won't because this is your stream.
Okay, sure thing. Thank you so much for coming along, Joe.
Casual plug.
Yeah, bye-bye.
That's okay. Bye.
Alright, guys, thank you so much for coming along, and we'll call it quits for today. Put up the music made by DDR Kirby, also a great musician. Be sure to check his stuff out as well after the stream. Anyways, gonna call it quits for now. And thank you so much for coming along. And in the future, I may as well do this again. Apparently, because you guys seem to really like it. Anyways, guys, see you along next time.
I love this. Stay tuned for that.